If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Village of Washingtonville Village Board Work Session meeting. Today is June 4th. I'm sorry we got started a little bit later. First on the agenda, we have a public hearing regarding a local law placement of stop signs on Ballard Pond and Jock Drive. We discussed this.
Make a motion that we open a public hearing.
Thank you.
Second it?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We spoke about this at our last, I believe it was our last work session. Came up where, after having a meeting with residents on Ballard Pond and Reed, I believe, with the Chief Zaccaro present, we came up with placing stop signs on the intersection of Ballard Pond and Jock Drive. Without me actually going to the board and doing things the right way. Since that day, we have wrapped the stop signs in black plastic until whatever decision is made here tonight by this board to keep those signs and remove the black bags, put down the stop bar. Some discussion about why stop signs are put up. Is it in a good location? And since that time, we also received, or we also purchased a speed sign, I guess would be the right term for it, to see the traffic and how fast they were going. Now, so I'd like to open it up to members of the board or the public regarding the placement of these stop signs, if in fact they do stay at this location. So whoever wants to give some insight, we could go with the public first.
Sure.
Troy, just state your name, please.
Sure. My name is Stephanie Kaufman. I've lived on Reed Court, 1 Reed Court, so I'm exactly adjacent to Ballard Pond for 17 years. I'm the original owner in Moffett Ridge. First, I'd like to thank the board, Mayor Bucco and Chief Zaccaro for giving us this opportunity to come and speak in the open forum, and for the attention that you've provided in this issue that we're having. Unfortunately, I thought I'd have more support here because I know that there are a lot of people in Moffett Ridge that have concerns about the speeders. But it seems like we are the ones that are going to represent them. Okay, so Ballard Pond is a beautiful road. And with that being said, it's beautiful for the pedestrians, children, families. It's accessed when there are parades at Memorial, when there are parades in town. Everyone uses that road to get to town or Memorial Park or CVS. When the kids want to go get a slice of pizza, they go back from Brother Bruno's. I see all of that because I am right there. My window is exactly, my kitchen window is looking right down Ballard Pond. So I'm always seeing what is happening. I'm not obsessed with it, but I am often washing dishes, so that is exactly what I'm doing when I am washing my dishes, is just looking out the window. It is also used by runners and walkers. It is encouraged by the town, I believe, because there is a dog potty to be accessed by the walkers and their dogs. So again, that's another access for people to walk their dogs. And we have the senior residence across the street, which I have a perfect view because my backyard backs up to it. So I often see seniors with their oxygen tanks, seniors with their pets, seniors with other seniors. And there are about 4 disabled ladies that every single day, like clockwork, at 4 and 5 o'clock, walk down Ballard towards the town and then walk back at 5 from the town. So there is a lot of pedestrian traffic, i.e., that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's heavily used, and it's a beautiful road to be walked every day. Now, the cars are also heavily using that road, and it seems like over the last 2 years, 3 years, with the influx of more people coming into Washingtonville, that the cars have become more on that road. I find that it's an alternate to Ahern because it doesn't have stop signs. It's definitely a faster way to get into town, or to 94, or to 208, or to wherever they're going. I find that in either direction, cars are speeding on that road. Either it's the straightaway if they're going towards Decker, or it's the straightaway and the curve if they're coming towards the other way and going towards Ahern. The straightaway and the curve is my issue, because when they come through the straightaway from Ahern towards Decker, that's a very scary turn. It's a very scary turn at night, and it's a very scary turn during the day, because they can't see around that turn who's on the other side. And then they just rev their engines, and they just speed down that road. And I can look out my window, and I hear the rev of the engine, and it's not only children. It's not only 16, 17, 18-year-olds. It's moms and dads. I mean, everyone is going down that road at an increased speed. It's a 25-mile-an-hour residential road. But because there's a forest on the other side, I feel like they believe that they can just go ahead and step on the gas. There's a tragedy that will happen on that road. I truly, I'm telling you that something is going to happen, and I just wanted it to be addressed before it does happen. The last thing I'll say is I don't really know speed bumps, stop signs. I've done a lot of research. I don't know what the answer is. I know that maybe you don't know what the answer is. I just feel like that road needs to be addressed. And the reason I'm saying this is because 32 years ago, September, my brother passed away on a residential road. He was 5, I was 11. It altered my life, my family's life forever. I don't want a family in this community to go through what my family went through. The road needs to be addressed. That's all I'm asking for. I don't know what the answer is, but it needs to be addressed. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Well, I'll just
Okay, I'm sorry.
have a few quick statements. I just moved into Stonehill about 2 years ago.
Name your name?
If you could just state your name, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Ann Kaplan. And I love the building, I love the area, but my bedroom faces Ballard Pond. And I can't tell you how many nights I'm lying in bed and I hear people revving their motors and speeding down that street like no tomorrow. Why, I don't know, because it's late. Sometimes it's 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night and they're just speeding through. And I'm saying to myself, where are they going at this hour? Why do they have to drive so fast? And it's so dark. And there are many instances where I'm walking, taking my walk around the complex, and I'm walking on the sidewalk, on the street, and I'm walking towards Decker, and cars come around that curve so fast that sometimes I feel if they just take their eyes off the road for one split second, I'm dead. They'll just come right up that curve and there's no stopping them. And I look and I think, well, it's probably some young kids, like she said. It's young mothers, it's men, it's everybody, and I don't understand why. And one day after the stop sign went up, I stood on the corner purposely to see how the traffic was going. And I can't tell you how many people drove right through that stop sign and didn't even stop. So I don't know what the answer is, but I know right now, to me, it's very dangerous.
Terry Hughes. First of all, on this, has anybody actually determined, put a speed counter out there on the road for a week long to determine the high speed, the low speed, the mean speed, the 80% speed, which is important for DOT? So do we have any data at all on how fast people are going on this road?
Yes.
You actually, and what are those numbers?
I don't have them in front of me, but we have numbers from the speed machine that was put up there. It gives you high speed, low speed, specific speeds at different times. So we do
Does it
have,
also give you the 80%, which is usually the one you DOT?
I don't know if it gives you that.
Well, first, and second of all, I want to indicate, you're not right off the top speed bumps. There's a lot of old people in this village, and obviously that same thing happened in Suffolk, and the hospital went nuts when they were talking about putting speed bumps on. Because if somebody's life is in danger, you don't want them slowing down and going over a speed bump. My daughter does, or did at this point, now she's writing the Geico corporate auto liability program. And what they found with these four-way stop signs is quite simply, of course you have more accidents, obviously, if you don't make stop signs at all. But you also have more fatalities, which is contrary to so-called common sense. But what happens is, because people, there's really not much sense for all these stop signs in this village. Some of them are flat out illegal, like the one in Canterbury where you have a stop sign in the driveway. But the long and short is, what happens, people try to make up the time by speeding up, and when your car is accelerating, it takes longer to brake, and you have less time to react and so forth. So that's the experience in the Mid-Atlantic. Now, maybe in the Northeast it's different, but that's what they found, is that the four-way stop signs, and I know full well the guys at DOT up in Albany, they'll never put a four-way stop sign on a state road. And they certainly would never put a speed bump on there either. So I always tell people, I have nothing against Washingtonville, but I don't see any sense of people coming to Washingtonville, because it's easier for me to drive to Vale's Gate than it is to go through Washingtonville with all these stop signs all over the place. When you actually see when you actually hear before the planning board, usually what happens, a traffic control expert comes in and indicates you have feeder streets where, normally stop signs are, and then you have collector streets where, of course, you don't put any stop signs at all, because the whole theory of collector streets is to collect all the feeders and move the traffic along. Washingtonville isn't doing that, not to mention, of course, the cost of all these stop signs. I mean, the average cost is about $600 by the time you fix the sign, and the labor to put it in, dig the hole, and so forth and so on. I'd like to see some data as to how many accidents are at all these stop signs. I know my son nearly got killed in the one at Decker in Somerset.
Hey, could you wrap it up, please, in 3 minutes?
Pardon me?
Could you wrap it up in
That's
3
it.
minutes?
There you go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Tom DeBenko, 7 Maple Court, Washingtonville. Just in short, I'm in favor of the stop sign and its location, and for the obvious purpose of what it's intended to do. We have, over the years, installed lots of different stop signs in a lot of different various locations because it was the only deterrent to slow traffic down. The police can't be at every corner, can't be at every intersection. What this young lady has talked about is the same problem that we've had on Capitol and Decker and everywhere else, and it's a shame, but it's all our residents causing the problem, rather than just paying attention. We lowered the speed limits from 30 to 25 on all the local streets. There's only, I think, North Street, which remained at 30, and to help the obvious situation of preventing someone from getting hurt and or killed. So I'm in favor of it.
Tom Beanley, 29 Weathervane Drive. I'd just like to add something to what the lady from that was speaking before. Another problem with Ballard is on that curve, in the daytime, you have senior citizens parking their cars there.
Yeah.
And it's also causing traffic that would be going southbound to veer into a northbound lane. And you have those cars parked there, and they do stay there until dusk and beyond, and then they'll move on. I mean, there is a lot of things on that road that can be corrected. And I think the one thing is with the seniors leaving their cars there in the daytime until it's dusk.
The only time I've ever seen cars parked on that road is when the people that live on the lower level bring in their groceries. Because if they go up to the parking lot, they have to go all the way down the steps where they could just go across the lawn. It's not right, but that's what a lot of
That's
them are
just the way
doing.
they do it.
Unloading. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
unloading
stuff
their
going on
groceries.
that road. And if I can just mention, I don't know if anyone was around, probably about 13 years ago now. It was Easter weekend. Further down Ballard towards Decker, there was a child that was already hit by a car. Staff flighted to Westchester. They brought them to the skate park. And they had a fractured hip, fractured pelvis, and a fractured elbow. Staff flighted to Westchester. That's when the stop sign went up on Alexander and Ballard. We have a history on that road. We already had a near miss. How many near misses do we need on this road?
I don't understand what's so terrible about putting up the stop sign.
It's already
What, they're
there.
having